Hi friends. If you click to check out the newest Tom Ford Extreme eyeshadow quad, then please keep on watching. Hello my friends, if this is your first time here, my name is Licia. Thank you so much for coming. If you are returning, well, thank you for stopping by again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I am a fitness professional who loves all things movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. A very quick first impressions rather. I just received this in the mail. I wanted to crack into it on camera just so you guys can see some swatches. Perhaps we'll put all 4 eyeshadows to action. And let me take these glasses off. I'm concealing the fact that I just wiped the eyeshadow that I had on so we can reapply and start anew. This is the latest and greatest Tom Ford eyeshadow quad. If it's your first time coming to my channel, hi, I love all types of makeup. Sometimes I am very much tempted by luxury makeup. I by no means spend all my money on luxury makeup. I try to give all brands a chance on the dollar spectrum. I was just very much pulled in by the packaging, as I just reviewed. It seems like I just did. I probably like a month ago by now. The Soleil Neige collection from their holiday 2019 release, and the Extreme has the silver box. And yes, I do keep the boxes and the actual compact in its velour sleeve in the box because you know what? It's just too expensive to get scuffed up in my makeup bags. This, I believe, is a part of like a very small collection of the eyeshadow quad, an extreme liquid eye color, and something else. I think it's a mascara. I'm not too sure. I'm so prepared for this video. I just decided to pick up the quad, which I bought from Saks. I believe you could get this quad from Beautylish, from Sephora. I will put all the retail links down below. They are affiliated, and with that I do get a commission. So whatever you decide to do, whether you want to use my link or not, I'm always appreciative that you even just watch my video. So thank you so much in advance for whatever you decide to do. Let's crack into this. It is called 01 Badass. As you saw, beautiful silver metallic box. The sleeve is like a beautiful charcoal gray, and oh my god, the compact is mirrored all the way through, and my grubby little fingerprints are getting all over it. That is shiny. Some product details. This quad does retail for $88, typical for Tom Ford. That is how much his eyeshadows cost. No surprise, of course, if you continually buy from Tom Ford. And nice to see that this isn't particularly more expensive than his other quads, so we're staying consistent on that one. We're looking at total net weight of 0.21 ounces or 6 grams total. That probably comes to around 1.5 grams per pan. And of course, what do you know? Made in Italy. Let's be a good YouTuber and pull up the product profile. Why don't we? I'm heading over to the Beautylish site. They actually have the Tom Ford homepage right on there. It looks like the color quad is still available on Beautylish if you're thinking about buying. The centerpiece of the Tom Ford color collection. Each eye color quad is designed with 4 opulent complementing shades that achieve multiple looks, from a bold smoky eye to a sexy slash of color and everything in between. Formulated with advanced color processes, the luxurious finishes from sheer to shimmer and matte. There's a matte in here? Matte to them. Offer a spectrum of intensity and effects and deliver incredible shade, fidelity, and outstanding adhesion. Those are very fancy words to describe eyeshadow. Hello, Pat McGrath. Every shade, every line, every stroke captures a decadent expression of unadulterated color. Tom Ford. Did you really say that, Tom? Get out of here. Paraben free, phthalate free, sulfate free, talc free, mineral oil free. What else do we need to know? I think that's about it. My package came in fairly quickly. When I did order this from Saks, it only said pre-order. I don't know where I read that it was going to ship out in December, and I was kind of sad about it. But it shipped out right away. Perhaps I just read the dates wrong. Oh my goodness. I wanted to buy it because of this shade. You know how I feel about my plums. Do we have any names? I believe we do not. Here is the first shade. Now, appears to be the wet dry formula from Tom Ford. Judging from the raised look of these shadows, Here is like the first beigey type. Ooh, that's nice. It's like a nice taupey type of beige. Up next, we have this bluish charcoal shade. Oh, that has punch. There are definitely more glitter specks in here than usual, I feel, for Tom Ford shadows, but that is a gorgeous color. The perfect one and done smoky charcoal shadow. Wow. Now into an even deeper, like a midnight type of a hue right next to it. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. We're looking at blue specks in here in the black base, but it's not completely black. It has like a bluish tint to it. I needed to save the best for last. Let's look at this plum shade. Oh, that is gorgeous. So we're looking like the charcoal and the midnight shade have the most texture in terms of the glitter particles in here. The beige and the plum take on a more traditional wet, dry, metallic feel and finish. Beyond smooth, they kind of remind me of Pat's Blitz shades, especially the plum shade. It is, I mean, look how the color richness, and it's so beautifully smooth. Definitely not as many glitters as you see here, like I said, in the charcoal in the midnight. So these are like your showstopper party shades, and then we're looking at like a low-key type of finish from these shades. With that said, friends, why don't you come in a little closer? Forgive the remnants of shadow pass on my lower lash line. Oh my god, what is happening with these brows? Excuse me. What shall we do first? I need to do this, plum friends. I know we're diving in right away, but I gotta do it. Taking my Refer #1 brush, let's wiggle to get the majority of the pigment on the bristles first. Oh, we got a mirror. Of course, just wanted to let you know. Let's pull that past and around the lid. It definitely applies a little smokier. So because this does have a black base, you see, I'm sure, as we blend out the edges, it's going to appear a lot more gray and cool. So definitely this plum leans cool versus like a red type of plum. But judging from the texture of the shadow, because it has such a beautiful glide and smoothness to it, not only can you pack it on the lid, but you could also blend out the edges. And with that said, we'll go in with our Wayne Goss #4. No additional product. I know the brush is dirty, leave me alone. We're just gliding over the edges of the shadow and to further shape it to make it look diffused. Well, we're basically done with that eye. We could go in with the plum under the lash line, or I'll take my Esom W21 with the plum shade, but lining lower lash line. You could also, if you don't have super sensitive eyes, kind of take the shadow on the waterline. Now with this lighter blue gray shade, same Esom W21, inner third. I think this is going to be a nice pop of shine, a different color. I'm trying to cover what's going on with that orange. Do not do this if you have contacts. I don't, so I could get away with it, because this will get on your contacts and will make them smudge for sure. Now taking the beige shade just to the inner corner to lighten that up. Excuse me. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Maybe it pulled some of the purple, maybe it pulled some of the plum pigments from this shadow and kind of steered the look to be like pinky. It's pretty. A little bit of fallout, but that is to be expected, especially from this blue gray shade, because you could even see here the glitter sparkles that inevitably might fall if you overload the brush. I'm just pulling the shadow further with my #4. I'm taking a little more of the plum shade and I'm just building this up. If you want more impact, I would suggest that you take your finger and just put like a final layer of that plum shade right on the lid so it could pop and have more impact. And I feel when you do that, you can see more of the plum color more so in person. On camera is reading a little more gray plum, but definitely reads more purple in person. And if you want the overall shadow to look warmer in nature, then I would use a matte or some other color to buff the edges so it could appear warmer and not as cool. Well, what am I gonna do with this eye? Oh, I prime my eyes with the Too Faced Better Than Sex multi-use concealer in natural beige. I forgot to mention that. I'm such a bad YouTuber, I'm sorry. I would love, let's go in with the beige first. Same Esom W21 on the inner, oh, someone needs to blend that out, on the inner part of the lid. I think this will be a great shade because I know this quad is very smoke heavy. I mean, there is no question that this quad is for smoky eyes. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get anything particularly daily friendly from this overall. But if you want, you could just apply this shade like we just did here and use your favorite neutral matte to blend that out, and that could be the eye for the day. But if we're gonna get smoky, going in with my reference number 1 again with this shade. Ooh, this has the glitz, right? So I'm trying to be very careful and not swipe, but press that in onto the outer V. I'm patting down and around the crease because eventually we will definitely blend this out. I'm wiping between applications so that we don't get any color transfer. Weighing gas number 4 to blend out that charcoal shade. I'm actually taking some on number 4, patting down first, and then we blend from there. I'm trying not to get too far in on the inner, try not to get too far onto the inner third, as I want that to stay more beige than anything. Okay, we're doing good. I'm taking my time so that this doesn't get out of hand. I'm very impressed by how these shades, despite them having glitter in them, how well they blend, and the color impact is amazing. And I have to say, despite the amount of glitter we might have seen on that swatch on the arm, I feel like those particles are buffing into the skin and they're leaving more like a sheen behind rather than an actual glitter finish. And I suspect if you wanted more of those glitters to show, that we will have to go in with our finger to kind of press that pigment on without blending it out. Oh, I like that. I kind of want to take this shade, this is my reference number 1, and pat it along the border of the charcoal shade that's dominating the outer V and between the beige shade, so we could create more of a gradient here, if you can see. So it goes from like deep charcoal to that bluish gray to the beige on the majority of the inner corner, more so than just an inner corner highlight moment. Just buffing that out here. Going back in and reapplying some of that beige, reapplying some of that beige shade to bring that back a little bit more. This is Tuckahoe and Beautylish's Holiday Collab brush from 2018. With this shade here, I want to place that all along the lower lash line. I actually have Linda Hallberg's Acela Flash crayon. It's like this steely type of gray that I feel matches well with what we just applied on the lower lash line. So we're just reinforcing the color here, covering up the orange. I had a Colored Rain's Safari palette on. Was it Safari? I forgot. Going in with the lighter gray color, smudging that pencil. Now with the deeper midnight shade on the outer V to connect, and placing the beige metallic here on the lower inner half. This is a really nice color. I know it's a beige taupe type of shade, but there's something about it. Just further blending this out here. I'm taking a little bit and I'm connecting top to bottom and pulling it out a little bit more, because if this is going to be our smoky dramatic eye, I want it to have a little more impact, a little more presence. There we go. All right, friends, let's slap on some lashes and I'll be right back. Finished look up close, friends. Both eyes done. Ardell's Naked Lashes in 421. Here is a closer look on the lids. And you know we gotta do the dazzle dance. So there is some sparkle on the plum, but I feel you could see even more on this side. And you know what this kind of reminds me of? This reminds me of the, oh, now we're in the dark again. This reminds me of the last trio in Charlotte's Hypnotize, Eyes to Hypnotize holiday palette. I feel you could achieve a similar look, but I do think these shadows are they're a little easier to work with because they have a lot of impact, but they have beautiful glide. I found that I had an easier time creating this smoky eye than I did with Charlotte's trio of shadows. I'm not particularly keen on comparing both formulas because I haven't used them. I know for sure Charlotte's formula doesn't last as long, but I think Tom might last a little longer. You could correct me down below. What can I say? I think this is a phenomenal quad. I think the easiest thing to point out is that it is a smoky eyeshadow quad. You only have one beige tone shade out of the 4, and the other 3 are smoky, rich, and deep. You could apply any of these as single shade eye looks. You could apply the plum like we did all over the eye. You could apply this all over the eye, this all over the eye. I particularly love the bluish silver hue that shadow takes on because it looks so beautiful wedged between the darker metallic and the beige. I think it just offers up a nice gradient of smoke that's not typical matte black, because matte black smoky eyes are gorgeous. They are classic, sophisticated, and traditional, right? But if you want to pop out of that box and just go in with a little bit of glitz, but have like that silverish blue tone, I just think is gorgeous. It looks like jewels on the lids and incredibly easy to achieve. While I understand that I am used to applying eyeshadow on a daily basis, I'm not intimidated by these textures, and I feel despite the price tag, I think because they are so expensive, that indicates ease of use for me. These could be applied on their own. They could be used with several brushes, natural hair brushes I use in this demo. I'm not sure how well they would perform with a synthetic brush in terms of the blending. The brushes that I have are very smooth. They glide across the skin beautifully, and I feel move the pigments well across the lids in a way that do not skip. They don't look textured or just spotty on the lids and the crease. I couldn't have asked for a better quad experience from Tom Ford. I don't have all his quads. I have all his Soleil Neige quads. I have this one. I highly recommend it if you love Tom Ford and you might happen to collect his quads. If you're not into Tom Ford and you're like thinking about it, did I even mention this was limited edition? I don't know. If I didn't pop up that update while I was talking about the product details earlier in the video, I'll be sure to let you know if anything down below. Definitely pick this up if it is limited edition. I mean, once again, the quad itself is just, it's a mirror. It's like a mirror in compact form. The shades are not new. Yes, I have plum. I have, you know, the silver gray and the charcoal black and the beige. I think it's just the overall luxury experience that you get from using this quad, and the fact that it is just so elegantly curated. You have 4 shades and that is it. There's no thinking. They're there for you to use. Like I said, you can use any of those shades alone and just have your smoky eye, whether it's a smoky plummy eye, a smoky silver charcoal eye, or a smoky black charcoal eye. If you want to just do the beige on your lid and call it a day, you could do that as well. You could put the beige on your lid and use any of the 3 shadows to smoke out the outer corner, or maybe just use it to create a wing on the upper lash line. There's so many possibilities in terms of shadow placement, technique, with just these 4 shadows that you could create beautiful looks with. If you wanted to pop out and maybe, for instance, I have the Marc Jacobs Topaz Flash. Hold on. So this is what it looks like without Topaz Flash. If we just wanted to just glide it just here, right over. Oh my God. That made it pop off like 10,000. And it's just nice to know that you have that plum shadow to set off any topper type of plummy thing you want to do on the eyes. I know it's obvious, but I always want to mention luxury makeup is not for everyone. Some people don't feel it worth it to buy. This by all means is not telling you have to get this Tom Ford quad. If you had your eye on it, if you wanted to see it in action, if maybe you have similar shades and finishes and you needed some inspiration for future eye looks to create, hopefully this video will help in that respect. I absolutely love it. If you are looking to grab it, I highly recommend it. Despite the glittery textures in these shadows, I thought they were very easy to work with. I experienced very little fallout, especially if you work on pressing the shadow initially, and once you get it on the lid, they adhere well, and then you blend out from there. I feel is pretty much a very easy experience to blend out these shadows. I mean, this plum, I think it's lightweight, it's compact. You bring it along if you just need that quick smoky eye go-to quad alongside like a neutral type of palette when you're traveling, then you're done. Like, this is New Year's, this is special event, this is red carpet, absolutely. And this is like thinking out of the box in terms of smoky eye color stories using different shades other than black and brown. So with that said, friends, I hope this video is helpful. Let me know if you picked up Tom Ford's Extreme Quad 01 in Bad Half, what you think about it, what you've been liking about it, if you picked it up. And yeah, until then, friends, that is all right. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, favorites list, shop recommendations, or get ready with me. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.